হ্যালো, বসছি বসছি। হ্যাঁ। সৌম্যসাথী, ডক্টর সৌম্যসাথী, am I audible and visible? Am I audible or visible? Oh, Konkona, Sৌম্যসাথী, Bipasha. Yes, I am audible and visible. Okay. That is not coming to my handset, but it's in the text. Okay. I'm starting. Good evening. I know you are interested about the Ukraine crisis of different importances to different persons in different ways. But I will not start with the Ukraine today. At the end, if I get time, I'll touch some points on the Ukraine crisis. Today, now my subject is a book recently published in Delhi, Netaji and Azad Hind Sarkar and Fauz. Netaji, Azad Hind Sarkar and Fauz. Removing smoke screens 1942-47 by Professor Kapil Kumar. I will discuss on this book. It's my first episode on this book. The books in the market in two types. One is the paper book. It is I think 900, and the hard binding volume is 3000. I will talk on the initial part of this volume. This will be the first episode on this volume from my side. And at the end, I will touch this Ukraine crisis. Okay. Oh, already automatically being converted into English by my. Okay. Then, one information for you, my friends. The Calcutta Book Fair, after 2 years, will start from 28th February. It will continue up to 13th March. Our books will be available in the Dev Sahitya Parishad stall 404, and also in Chakraborty Chatterjee's hall number 1. All the books will be available. Then let me proceed to my subject today. This book, history, surgery should be written by a surgeon. Surgery should be done by a surgeon. And textbook of surgery should be written by a surgeon. A physician has a right, has got a long experience to write volumes on medicine. and there should be some honesty, and there is a method. Also in history writing, there is a method. There should be an honesty. But the tragedy is, in last many decades in our country, the writings of the history has gone to some hands on some rascals, some paid agents of different political parties, who writes history with some agendas. The persons who has never the experience of writing a thesis, never has the experience of teaching, has started writing volumes, so-called histories. That is a very pathetic thing. And this volume by Professor Kapil Kumar definitely is an exception. He is an historian for last 50 years, the teacher for many decades, and professor in many universities. Naturally, we expect from him the proper thing. Yes. Let me start from its introductions. Okay? Am I listening? Are you listening? Okay. The beginning of his introduction has given one quotation from Netaji. Who will write history? Who will write history? Who are entitled to write history? Okay. One of his soldiers told him, "Sir, we must write history of INA." And Netaji promptly replied, "Let's make it. Somebody else write it. Somebody else will write it." Yes. Because history writing was not an easy one. History writing can be done by the makers of history, the creators of history, and also the persons who have directly seen the both sides of the history making. In any history making, there are many sides. One side may not see the other sides. There is the problem of a history maker, because he will write his own, only one side, each side. If that history maker, history created, is of tremendous qualities, he can write this. As per Romarola, Subhash Chandra is of that exceptional character. When Romarola read that Indian struggle, he expected that the writing will be one-sided. But Romarola saw that a history maker, a leader, has written a volume where he is so balanced. He has covered all the sides, not only his own side, but nowhere the writer's own side is dominant. That's the exceptional quality. Netaji is of that quality, described by Romarola. But here also, Netaji is telling his soldiers, no, let us create history. Let us make it. Let somebody else write it. The beginning sentence, I'll just give notes. And you see, the second page, that is page number 12, one important line I'm quoting. Only 3 leaders of the Congress were deported to the foreign prisons during freedom struggle. Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak to Mandalay in Burma, followed by Subhas. Yes, of the Indian freedom struggle history, only 3 top leaders, Rajput Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Subhas Chandra, were imprisoned in foreign land. No others. No others. And they were so much afraid. And the true freedom fighters are treated by British in that way. And who are the pseudo freedom fighters? For them, a palace has been acquired and so-called makeshift prison cells, luxurious prison cells, where the pseudo freedom fighters, loyal to British, have been kept imprisoned to show to the public, to boost up their lost images. Then, another stanza very quickly. Professor Kapil has dealt with how the INA issue was tackled by Congress and British side. Very pathetic area. Remember, after the Second Great War, INA Red Fort trial, where the INA issue becomes so much prominent in the country. And after the INA trial was near completion, the election, All India election under the British Raj came, 1946. And in 1946, you remember, the INA issue was used by all political parties, Congress, even Muslim League. The INA issue was used for their campaign. And for Congress, it was the topmost issue, because it is the most popular issue. And that made possible the victory of the Congress in many provinces. But just after being elected in many provinces, Congress started backstabbing this INA issue. And how this INA issue was buried, was put to death. That has been brilliantly written by this writer in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. 5 pages. But if you it is not possible for Professor Kumar to write in details, because this is a book on the total issue of INA government, INA Fauz, and Netaji. Naturally, he has to be very brief, because this issue of INA, how that had been dealt with by the British and the Congress leaders, it demands a volume itself. And you see, after Congress gained from it, it started backstabbing. And in the Central Assembly, there was demand after demand for the complete release of all imprisoned INA soldiers and officers. But there was a prestige issue, there was a dilly-dallying, because the army chief, Ochille, told clearly, if he releases all the INA soldiers and officers, that will be his loss of dignity. He will be not a position to command the army. And he told, if all officers and soldiers of INA is released, he will be compelled to resign. And what Wavell told? Wavell used the veto, because The resolution was passed in the Central Assembly for release, but Wavell used the veto powers as Governor General, as Viceroy. And then came Mountbatten. Mountbatten also was in a position, yes, because repeatedly the demand from the Central Assembly was coming for release. And there also Mountbatten was no other way than to veto. Interim government led by Nehru. Initially Muslim League did not join, but subsequently joined the interim government. But the majority members in the Central Assembly was demanding release, unconditional release. And here is a tactful understanding between Nehru and Mountbatten. What is the tactful understanding? If all are released unconditionally, there is loss of dignity of the British Empire. And if Mountbatten use the veto power, that will bring him unpopularity in this country. Mountbatten wants not to use the veto used. And Nehru, in dealing the situation, compromised with Mountbatten. How? That's very important. He gave a speech in one day that all INA soldiers are not patriots. There are some bad persons. That created divisions. And then one day, he's giving a very emotional speech in favor of the INA released soldiers. Very emotional speech. And at the end, he told, let the chief of the army forward this issue to the Chief Justice of India. Let him decide. Because it was the court-martial result, punishment and imprisonment of the INA soldiers and officials. Let the judge, legal cell, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court decide what to do. In that way, the issue was put to the back burner. And it is decided that the thing will be decided after 15th August 1947. And that was an understanding created between Mountbatten, British and Nehru that no INA soldiers will be re-recruited to the Indian Army. Though majority of the INA soldiers was the ex-British army officers and soldiers. That is understanding. And after the transfer of power that happened, the conspiracies between the Mountbatten and British on one side and Nehru, other side, if you want to go into the depth, you should read the Nehru Memorial Lectures. Nehru Memorial Lectures, that is particularly Nehru, there is a series of Nehru Memorial Lectures from 1966 to 1971, 1991. The most important is, so far as this issue is concerned, Reflections of Transfer of Power and Jawaharlal Nehru. Second lecture by Admiral of Fleet Earl Mountbatten of Burma. It is given 14th November 1968 in London. And other is Nehru and Indian Armed Forces. Fifth lecture by General J. Chaudhary on 5th May 1973. Here is detailed descriptions how the conspiracy was hatched to put the INA issue the backside and how it was backstabbed, how the whole issue was killed. And then I will go the next part and then that is a one common perceptions in our country is that Patel was against reinstatement of the INA soldiers in the army. As per this historian, backed by documents, Patel wanted reinstatement of the INA soldiers in our army. There is a new finding to me. Yes, it's backed by his historic documents. Okay. Then I am coming to another page very quickly. Are you listening? Then I am coming to, and you see, on the 16th August 1947, Nehru hoisted the tricolor in Red Fort. Here too, on the advice of Mountbatten and Auchin Lake, he refused the participation of the Azad Hind Fauz officers and soldiers in the ceremonies inside the Red Fort. The least he did was to mention Netaji in his speech while the Azad Hind Fauz soldiers and officers stood outside the Red Fort among the audience, listening to him and having their own parade, separate parade. It was to be noted that Sardar Patel, the Home Minister in the cabinet and also chairman of the INA Relief Committee, was never a party to these negotiations between Nehru, Mountbatten, and Auchin Lake. After going through all the huge files, Azad Hind Fauz Relief Committee, I have no hesitation in giving the credit of the relief measures adopted for assisting the Azad Hind Fauz more to Sardar Patel than any other Congress leader. Sardar Patel even pleaded for their reinstatement in the Indian Army, which was outrightly rejected by Nehru. That is definitely my new finding to me. Thanks to Professor Kumar. Okay. Then, but Pakistan Army took all the INA persons, officials, to their army. Okay. Now, Professor Kumar has mentioned a letter from Khurshid Nouraji to Louis Fisher, written on July 22, 1946. For this letter, Professor Kumar has thanked me because I handed over the letter to him. This letter is now this is very important, very vital letter. 3 lines I am reading. I have read it many times. I have mentioned it many times in the last 30 years. And this letter, I will give you the history of this discovery and recovery of this letter from the Marx Library, Princeton University, USA. I will give a short history. This is now my moral duty to tell you the history of recovery of this letter. Very vital. Before that, let me read 3 important lines. This letter have been used repeatedly in my volumes and affidavits. 3 most important. At heart, the Indian Army is sympathetic with the Indian National Army. If both comes with the help of Russia, neither Gandhi nor Congress will be able to reason with the country. And from this letter, it will be clear, amply clear. This letter is written 22nd July 1946, written from the ashram of Mohandas. The writer, Khurshid Nouraji, is his personal secretary. Letter has been written at the instruction of Mohandas Gandhi. This letter clearly shows that Netaji Subhas has not died in the papers. Moreover, Gandhi is trying to negotiate with Washington, USA, to do something very quickly, so that before return of Bush, some negotiations, some settlement is quickly done, so that their common enemy of UK, USA, and Gandhi's common enemy is tagged. Okay? And now, this whole letter is in my volume 1, Netaji Subhash Chandra, Kichu Bitorko and Totho, first volume. Also in some other volumes. This letter has got an important, very important history of this country. In early 90s, I think 1992, Professor Shamar Guho went to USA to his daughter. There he met a friend of him, who was a famous chemist, chemical scientist, a professor of chemistry in Princeton University. Was one time friend here in Jadavpur University. He was a research worker also. While he was trying to find some documents in the Princeton University, he came across this letter, handwritten letter, 7-page handwritten letter from Khurshid Netaji to Louis Fisher. He was astonished. He secretly, unofficially, took the photocopies of these letter. And this photocopy, and that time, letter was not declassified. And that time, the photocopies was handed over to Professor Shamar Guho. And after Shamar Guho came back to India, Sunil Gupta, used this document very intelligently in all our cases in Supreme Court, before the High Court and Supreme Court, also subsequently in our case where we demanded a new commission. First two cases were against the posthumous Bharat Ratna, High Court and Supreme Court, then Indian High Court, where we won the case and got the order for the JMCI. And then again in the JMCI, this letter was repeatedly produced. Very important letter. But that time, it was not a declassified one. We wanted a letter certified by the Princeton University and declassified. And from some correspondences, I show the date of the future declassification of the letter. I submitted that correspondences in my affidavits to the JMCA. And on that very date of declassification possible, I and Professor Mr. P.K. Sengupta was the first secretary of the JMCI. We waited in the JMCA office and waited for the moment. The moment it was declassified, we entered into the website of the Princeton University Marx Library. We got the print of that 7-page letter. But in our courts and commissions that time, that it was 1900 something, yes. That is 2000. That time, in our courts, only printed letters which are not certified was not of legal value. Subsequently, courts are accepting these documents as documents, even though they were not certified. And naturally, commission approached the Marx Library through our embassy in Washington. And then we got the certified letter, 7 pages, through embassy to our JMC. Some of us got the certified copy, certified by the JMC again for our reading and use. That is the important history. And those who want to read the whole type and content of the letter, very vital. You can see in my first volume of Netaji Subhash Chandra. Yes. Then I am coming to, because I have told you that history, because history, writing has a history. Every subject of history, a textbook of science, any branch, had got history. That history is very important. And there are some persons who just copies and write books, claim to be the original authors. This is not honest. Every document, discovery has got its own history. And a real writer has to give time, decades on the subject to read and to fathom, to digest. Then only has got the right to write a volume of it. Then I am coming, just copying, pasting, and giving stories without cross-verification, without knowing the depth of the sentences, what is there. It is not honest. And nowadays, the writing has gone to the hands of some mafias also. Yeah. Those who steal documents from archives, steal documents from national libraries. It's one type. To show that they are the original ones without giving any references from where they have got the documents. This is one type of writers. And yes, next Professor Kumar has mentioned the INA treasure. Yes, INA treasure loot. That was our case in Calcutta High Court. We have won the case. That we are waiting how the government of India proceeds to that. There is a huge amount of wealth of the INA have been looted. That specific things it is not possible to write in this volume. I have discussed on it. Here he has boldly mentioned that huge INA treasure has been pilfered. Okay. Then some other pages. I'm going very quickly to other pages. Other pages. How much time? Sorry. Oh, no. Sure. Now, it's a very important mentions in this. Some mentions. In many ways, Subhash Chandra Netaji is first in many aspects. First, many aspects. As mentioned, remember, Deshbandhu was the first Bengali mayor of Calcutta Corporation. And then, after one time, Subhash Chandra was the mayor. There is many times there is a criticism that at one time, Subhash Chandra articulated with the Muslim League. Muslim League being a fundamentalist party, a communal party, he compromised with the communal party. But my friends, think in which situation he was compelled to articulate with the Muslim League. Because if he do not articulate the Muslim League, the mayor post will go to the hands of the Britishers. And at that time, Congress groups, many groups and Congress groups were not supporting him. The other groups, in that situation, he saw that if he do not articulate with the Muslim League, the post of mayor will go to the hand of a Britisher. Because in the council of the Calcutta Corporation, there are many British representatives, white representatives. They will be majority and they will take over the mayor, post of mayor. His political guru, who snatched that post from the hand of the British. How can he allow that? And Muslim League in that time, when British is ruling this country, when our country in bondage, Muslim League is not the first enemy, his political enemy, first political enemy. It is the British. When British is the first enemy, he is in a position, he is clear to compromise with anyone. British the target. He did it. This is with political wisdom. Every politically very conscious person will do that. And then, as mayor, remember he has wrote, he used khadi as the uniform of the employees of the corporation and introduced schemes for public welfare in the field of education. And many of the primary schools in the Calcutta Corporation was by him, and providing milk to the poor, his scheme. Poor children, his scheme. And also, one thing I can tell you, this system of using the non-purified water of the Ganges to clean the streets were his project. And he was first to form Bengal Volunteers, was the first paramilitary disciplined group to parade the open Calcutta streets on the eve of 1928 All India Calcutta Congress, and where he is the first man in the Congress platform annual session to demand not dominion status but complete independence. And he is first in many ways. Then, and he is the man of Congress president who made possible the planning committee and commission. He is the first man to send medical mission to China when China was attacked by the Japanese. And he is the first All India Congress leader who went to foreign lands and organized and campaigned for Indian freedom. And he is the first man Indian leader who met with De Valera when he was sitting in England. It was very courageous. And subsequent many first is the man to form the provisional government recognized by 11 countries. Army. So many ways it's mentioned step by step. And another name he has mentioned, he has Coroni. Coroni, in the page number 25, Coroni. Coroni, Italian ambassador to Paris, handed over some letters. Sharat Chandra Bose, a document. And this Coroni, very important person. This very Coroni, the Italian ambassador to Kabul in 41, when Netaji is mysteriously having its journey from India to Moscow to Berlin. This is this Coroni, when he was Italian ambassador in 1946 in Moscow, being met by American an American who is in search of Subhash Chandra, Netaji Subhash Chandra in Moscow, and he's touching, that is Louis Fisher, touching Koironi on the whereabouts of Subhash Chandra Bose in 1946 in Moscow. Here, a few lines I'm reading. It should be noted here that Japan, Germany, Italy had in no way, and one thing, the historian Kumar has clearly, boldly told that, you see, our Indian intellectuals, their food is not digested. If they do not curse, blame Germany, Italy, Japan, they will not sleep without using some filthy language about the Tojo, Mussolini, Hitler. But think of the basic fact. In 200 years, has ever these Mussolinis of Italy, Hitlers of Germany, and Tojos of Japan has injured the interest of India? Who has injured the interest of India last few hundred years? These intellectuals will never blame those persons, those countries, because these intellectuals of India and these politicians, secular politicians, comrades, are in regular payment from these foreign countries. And here, it should be also noted that Japan, Germany, Italy had in no way ever exploited India, looted India, massacred Indians, or did any wrong to India, whereas his critics, like the communists and certain congressmen, supported the British in the war, who had for almost 170 years had exploited India, massacred Indians in such brutal ways that cannot be expressed in words. For the communists, when Stalin signed non-aggression pact with Hitler, was Hitler not a fascist? My friends, I request you, I will not read more lines today from this volume. Netaji, Azad, Hind, Sarkar, and Fauz, Removing Smoke Screens, 1942-47, by Professor Kapil Kumar. I'll suggest to you, you collect the volume, paperback volume, that will be cheaper, and read. This is really a history volume, well written, in a very simple language, very simple, and giving many mentions of many documents. This is a real history. And here is no personal hypothesis, personal story. The personal story, there are some writers who give their personal stories, personal whims, never backed by any document. And they claim they are good writers. Okay. You have got your own choice to choose which book you will read for this subject. Now, let me go for a few lines on this Ukraine crisis. Before that, let me see what is your questions. Is it? Can you see me? Can you see me? Or it is, I'm off the screen. Oh, no. I am on the screen. Shankar, Dr. Shankar, Abhishek Ganguly. Shankar, can you please? I thought I'll be able to talk to you. You can talk to me after this session. I like to talk to you. Soumashati Mandal, audible, okay. Pritam Vishwas, Mahakal script, Balochistan, Sindh, Northwest Frontier Province, Pak, Burma, Bangladesh is ready. All will take place time after time. This will be number much bigger than 1971 Bangladesh liberation. Yes. JLN want to disband army. Yes. Thank you. And Ukraine crisis. Yes, few lines of Ukraine crisis. Now, what is going to happen? I do not know. Still, the unfolded page of pages history will be the folded pages of history will be unfolded gradually. And the history script is written that will be theaterized step by step. And always in the theater, the script is not the final. Sometimes the players on the theater stage need to modify the script. Anyway, now in the theater, Ukraine theater, on one side, the West European countries are engaged. Maybe some are passive, some are active. Behind the scene, back USA. On the Russian side, his friends, and how much involvement will be by the other countries, let us see. But one thing is sure. Russia is engaged. Russia will not be stupid to extend its other hand to other fronts. It will be engaged here. And this America and West European countries are engaged here. Now China remaining silent comparatively, now has the leverage, freedom to put his hands on the Taiwan and the Pacific region. Okay. And who knows, some other country will have the freedom to complete, some other powers, some other country will get the opportunity to complete the unfinished agenda, unfinished work of the second Great War, of their freedom movements. Let us see. And if in this world theater, none is my bosom friend, none will support me to go up, to grow. All, in one sense, my enemies. If someone is friend, that is for their compulsion, for their common interest. In this situation, to me, the topmost priority, to my Bharat, to my motherland, topmost priority is my interest of my country, my motherland. And our policy in this situation will be dictated by the interest of my country, of my people. And for last 30, 20 years, I am telling what is the two very important persons. Very important persons. Very intelligent. Very intelligent. I have told many times, one is Putin. Putin has the eyes of a Siberian wolf. Very intelligent. The KGB top person. He has the wisdom to articulate his aims and objectives. Tsar has its empire interest. Communist USSR also had the interest, empire interest. It extended the horizon, its boundary up to the Himalayas, up to the Mediterranean Sea, But after the collapse of the USSR, that dream is not lost. They have got aspirations. Also, they have their security threats also. Ukraine is very unlucky, unfortunate land, unfortunate country, surrounded on all sides, either by ocean dominated by the Russia, or by land, or by other countries under the Russian umbrella. Very unfortunate country. But in this theater, let us see what other characters play. Our interest is something, our own interest of the country, and let the other players play in their ground. Maybe something in this situation, when the big powers are engaged somewhere else, all the big powers, something may happen in South Asia. Where our interest, our country's interest is the topmost. And second character, I have told you many times, it is Modi. It is Modi. Modi is far intelligent in national politics, domestic politics, and international politics than many of the leaders of many countries. Many countries. Many Indians, intellectuals, communists, Congress may hate personally Modi. Let them hate. But the fate of this Bharat is now safe in the hand of Modi. Modi will give us a good domestic policy and a good foreign policy. Let the situation in Ukraine unfold, and let us read Mahakal Kathans in many places, published in some volumes. And it is not easy. It is not at all easy to fathom Mahakal Kathans, the statements of Mahakal. It is not easy. In many cases, his statements on issues have been understood by us, even by seniors, after the incidents took place. It's not easy. About these world situations, which is impending, there are many forecasts. Let the things happen, and reread all those Mahakal Kathans, the statements of Mahakal. That we may understand. Let me stop here today. Thank you. Thank you. And very good news, about 20,000 Indian students in Ukraine. Arrangements of our embassies in Europe is made. They are coming back. They are safe. I'm very sorry, the common people of the Ukraine is suffering. Thank you. Good night.